Welcome back to the SCIF. I'm Matt. That's Stu. We are the Green Beret Life. We are a 501c3. We have all sorts of training, pistol, rifle, shotgun. Our mission is to get veterans, their families, first responders, and their families out into the outdoors. You got any interest in what we do, go check out our website, TheGreenBeretLife.com. If you have any questions about the military, you want to ask Stu or myself something, you can email us to TheGreenBeretLife@gmail.com. And sometimes it takes us a little while to get back, but we will get back to you. So feel free to do that. Thank you for joining us again. We've got a pretty good show tonight. Once again, we're going to be on YouTube for a little while. YouTube is not about First Amendment rights, so you guys know why we switch over. I just want to give that caveat every time. So we're going to be here for a little while, then we're going to switch over to Rumble or Odysee. If you haven't already, please come and join us over there at Rumble and Odysee. Sign up. Please give us likes or make comments there after the fact. The algorithm even over there is still a little bit odd. And Stu and I have been trying to figure out some of the shows take off. We have one with over 1,000 views, and then we have others with like 100 views. So not quite sure, trying to find the sauce and what makes this happen. But I would imagine giving likes and making comments over there will help us quite a bit. And if you know anybody who wants to join, please join. And once again, please join in the conversation. You know, if you think we're full of shit, tell us we're full of shit. If you agree with what we're saying, you can tell us that too. And if you have anything to add, like we always appreciate, please add. We're here. We've said this from the very beginning. This is an information war, and we are in it right now. So free flow of information is immensely important for us to save this country. And this is part of the reason why we can't stay on YouTube the whole show. So with that, Stu, what do we have on the docket for today?
We've got a couple of good stories here. One of the main ones that I know you and I were really kind of watching and hoping for was this Arizona rancher was actually jury was deadlocked, and prosecution has declared that they're not going to attempt a retrial for this this guy that had illegals and cartel crossing his property. There was gunfire. Someone wound up no longer with us, and the prosecutor decided that it was this guy that did it. And we'll get in the details of the story, but the good news is that it looks like he is going home to his family, which is good. The guy was like 75 years old, so any sort of incarceration would have been a life sentence for him. It just that's what
else do we got there, Stu?
The White House is actually considering inviting some of the Gaza Palestinians to resettle into the U.S. as refugees, because there's nowhere else between here and Gaza for them to build a hut or anything of that sort.
No.
We've got a report that's come out that has basically uncovered where BlackRock, the $10 trillion investment company, has ties to Chinese companies that are involved in the development of nuclear arms. So that's
for China.
For China, not for anybody else, for China. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Remind me again, who does China perceive as their biggest threat that they must take over?
What do you mean?
Who
the U.S. or are you talking about?
Who does China look at as their biggest threat?
Who?
Well, come on.
We're talking about the U.S.?
Yeah, we are. So those weapons are being designed to be used against us, right?
Yeah.
Stu thought I was asking a trick question there.
I did. I was like, well, us. And I'm like, well, no, Matt's asking a trick question. So I was trying to be smart about it, and that's just something I'm not used to doing.
Well, that's a problem. Don't try to be smart.
I know. My mom used to always tell me, "You trying to be smart with me?" I was like, "No, ma'am."
No.
We've also got one of the stories I found is Biden's tax proposals on capital gains, and even more importantly, on unrealized capital gains. We'll
Yeah,
talk about that.
that's never been done before, but communism's coming under this clown.
Yeah,
So,
we're going to tax you on something that you don't even have.
mhm.
And probably one of the last stories we're going to talk about is, we'll give a refresher when we get there, but it's the Help America Vote Act and the uh, reporting that the Social Security Administration was posting up on their website with the numbers that they were processing per state. Funnily enough, after this has come to light that all of these numbers are not jiving for one reason or another, the Social Security Administration has decided that they're not going to publish those for the time being. So there have been none published for
Sounds
the past
legit.
month or so.
Sounds
And
sounds on the up and up and legit. The
yeah,
most
absolutely.
transparent administration ever. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely legit. Nothing to see here. Move along, folks.
Hmm.
So that's what we're going to talk about, and that's it. It's the unfortunately the doom and gloom that it seems to be, and we're trying to get the word out so that everybody can understand what's going on and what they're seeing, and a lot of times what you're being told isn't what's actually happening. So we're just trying to get some of these stories out in front of you guys and give you a perspective on them, the reading between the lines, as it were.
Hmm.
Did you have
Well,
one in mind that you wanted to speak on while we were on YouTube, or do you think we may move over a little
we'll,
quicker?
we'll start the rancher's a quick story. We can go through this. Basically, here's the deal. A rancher was on trial, George Allen Kelly, and basically an illegal, they don't know who this individual was, wound up dead on his property. No bullet was recovered, so they don't know who shot him. But his eyewitness account where he heard something going on his property, right? And what were suspected Mexican cartel members were out there, and they were pointing AKs at him. He fired a warning shot in the air. And what did he go to check on a horse or something, Stu, and found a dead migrant on the property. So what does the federal
Yeah.
government do? This poor man, private property owner, American, being victimized by this bullshit open border that we have. And what does the federal government do? They go after him. They go after him for murder. Now, mind you, no bullet was recovered. And this is absolutely insane, and this ought to make your blood boil. Okay? But the good news is there was a hung jury and a mistrial was called, and he's not going to be retried. I think the federal government was getting a lot of incoming over this case, but this is absolutely insane. Here's an American. He's in his 70s. He has worked and paid into the system his whole life. He is being victimized, and it shows that this administration and all of its apparatus underneath the administration is more concerned with the people breaking the laws coming into this country, because that's their people, okay? They're more concerned with them than they are the American citizens who the government is supposed to be protecting in its first and number one job, right? They're not. And so who do they go after? They go after the American that's being victimized. And
Matt, right here, they're talking about the guy that wound up with the
dude who wound up being cacked.
Yeah, basically, he had illegal entered the country multiple times previously and had been deported as recently as 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the funniest part about it, I think I highlighted it down here. Maybe I didn't. Let me see. They were talking about the individual that they were going to use as a witness for the state. Let me see where it was something about. Maybe it was in another story, but one of the witnesses that the government wanted to use was basically a drug mule that had been bringing,
Mm-hmm.
illegal stuff in and out of the country for years. That was going to be the prosecution star witness. And
Mhm.
it's just like, and like you said, he heard something going on, goes outside, sees these members in camouflage holding rifles. And again, the government saying, oh, the person that he shot was unarmed. Okay, what if the people that were with him whenever he fired these rounds off in the air grabbed the gun when they ran? There's nothing saying that the guy didn't have a gun whenever
And
the
who's
rounds
and
were
he didn't
popped
shoot
off.
him, and he didn't shoot him. He shot a gun up in the air. So
Right.
how can you even prove they? How can you prove they didn't shoot him? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. And that was my
You
thing.
can't. So,
Yeah.
but this is the deal. If you haven't figured it out already, the reason why this administration cares more, or the deep state cares more about the illegals, is that that's their people, and you are the problem. You're the terrorist, not the illegals coming across this border. You're the problem. And nothing highlights this more than this case from the very beginning. This guy's on his property, illegals coming onto his property, pointing guns at him. No bullet is recovered, and he's brought up on charges. His life has been turned upside down. He's been bankrupted via litigation and attorney's fees.
Yeah.
This is absolutely insane. And we must remove this administration this November and vote for Donald Trump. Period. This is our shot. We lose the country. You must get this rot out of this country. Americans are taking a backseat to illegals. So, Stu, do you have anything else you want to add to this? Because I think it's time for us to pop smoke here.
No, I don't think so. Like you said, it's amazing the reporting that's going on, and the information that's come out, and the just how non-existent the case was that they had against this man, and still brought it anyway. And like I said earlier, this man was 75 years old. Any
Mhm.
sort of incarceration whatsoever would have been a life sentence. He would not have. It would have, just the nature of things. And
How old was he?
75.
75, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said
And the thing
85 a
is,
second ago. I was going to
they
say, holy
they
shit.
did not care, don't care. And it still boggles my mind that it was, no round recovered, but they determined it was his when there were other armed men there. It's like, how did you make that determination? Or you just
They're going to
decided
believe
because
the
there
drug
was no one
mule.
else there to prosecute but him?
They're going to believe the drug mule over the American citizen. So,
Well, there's no one else there to prosecute, and the DA needs his win column. So
this is a statement to everybody out there. You do not do anything to stop the flow of illegals into this country, whether
yeah,
you're being victimized on your property or not, or we'll come and get you.
yeah.
Period.
You try and defend yourself, your
Intimidation.
family, or your property, you will be punished.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
like you said, it's probably best we bow out of YouTube before they come after us with the ban hammer. So we're going to move over to Rumble. Down in the description below, there's the link to the Rumble channel. We'd like to see you guys over there. We've got, as you heard earlier, a handful more stories to go over and go through, and we can speak a little more freely and interact with our audience. And actually, we've got one now. Freedom US just posted, one of our subscribers. He says, don't you think that the current administration knows that it can't legally win in November? I'm leaning towards a black swan event happening. And
No, he's spot on. Freedom US is, as usual, spot on. And yeah, buckle up. This is going to be
buckle
one
up,
hell of a
Buttercup.
ride. Yep, into this election. So
All right. We're gonna move over to YouTube before we or move off of YouTube before we get ourselves in trouble. We'll see you guys over at Rumble. Again, the link is down below. Click it and meet us over there.